much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns. You buy better it burns. You buy better.
Life's been tough, and it's even tougher than ever to find a good therapist. But these days, all you hear is, sorry, we aren't accepting new patients. Next time, reach out to Life's Journey Counseling Services. They're located on Main Street, right in the middle of Jewett City, and they are accepting new patients right now. Individual, couples, family, and group counseling are all services available at Life's Journey Counseling Services in Jewett City. Find them online at lifesjourneyct.com and click on Book Appointment for information on how to start or to simply get questions answered. Life's Journey Counseling Services has multiple therapists on staff, so your questions, concerns, and counseling needs will all be met. lifesjourneyct.com. It's the best place to start your personal journey to heal, become a better version of yourself, and strengthen your relationships. Life's Journey Counseling Services, 70 Main Street here in Jewett City, lifesjourneyct.com.
Hi, this is Lisa Griffin of Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank. Well, some banks offer checking account rewards, and some banks rebate ATM withdrawal fees. At Eastern, we say, why choose? Check out our Kasasa checking accounts and find out how you can get both. For more information, visit bankeasternct.com, call us at 860-889-7381, or stop by any of our branch locations today. Eastern Connecticut Savings Bank with offices in Norwich, Jewett City, and Plainfield. Member FDIC. Do you, Kasasa?
Your community radio.
Live from Main Street.
Mike Minarski and Paul Lash in the morning and 80s all day and night.
SNSN.
Like they always say things that aren't stupid usually. And when they are stupid, it's funny.
Hey, Paul. Oh, I can tell Paul's in a great mood already. Here we go. Paul's in his Monday mood.
I was happy on Monday.
Oh, all right. So this is the karmic balance of it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah. Well, what happened this morning? The first thing you said to me is, "This door's a piece of crap."
It was.
Not even good morning. How you doing? Yeah. This door's a piece of crap.
It is. The freaking numbers wouldn't show up. Then it wouldn't work.
It saw you coming.
Yeah.
What can I do to screw up Paul's morning?
That's right.
The world is against you, Paul.
I know it.
It's against you today.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I see you had to rub it into me on the ball field again, asking me if I was on Mars.
What?
Yeah, showing a picture of the ball field. He keeps.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your picture this morning.
Yeah, but I didn't say anything about him.
I know you didn't.
So
he's got a guilty conscience. He took it on his.
No, I thought it was. Do you know why I even put it up?
I don't care.
Well, obviously you do care, Paul. I mean, you're mentioning it, so there's a lone flag right in the middle. It's the 50-yard line where they're going to mark it all.
Oh,
it could have been many different places. But, So
there.
Moving on from that. You feel outnumbered this morning?
I'm outnumbered.
Nobody's outnumbered. That's in your own head, man, because nobody's outnumbering you.
Looks like 3-1 to me.
Well, I'm looking at you and I'm talking to you.
I know.
Right? So
I'm the extra today.
You want to come over on this side?
No.
You boys against girls?
Keep going. Are you girls? It's not to say today,
Well, I think they're pretty obvious.
Does it?
We're women.
We don't know. It's hard to say.
We are of the female persuasion.
Okay. It's hard to say.
I think
cannot be defined as girl because I am not an adolescent.
Oh, that's right. You're 22 now or whatever, so you're an adult.
So I think you're kind of moving towards the whole transgender issue you're talking about as far as the active shooter the other day.
Transgender.
What?
Yeah, it was a female turned male. Matter of fact, there's been several shootings where they've been transgenders. And there's a left-wing transgender organization that said that this person did it because they wanted to bring attention to the transgender society.
That sounds like a load of crap that you read on Fox News.
No, not on Fox News.
Where'd you read it? CNN?
No, it was a Newsweek, I think it was.
You can't assume Fox News because CNN's just
because you
as
got
bad.
just because you got a hair across your
Listen,
ass because of Fox
listen.
News. CNN and any
Listen, Linda.
I feel like I need to make this very clear. Do not assume that I am left wing, please.
I don't know what you are, to be honest with you. I don't know what side.
Like, technically, I'm registered as an independent.
Yep.
I'm more left leaning than right leaning, but I'm moderate.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the left or the right, but because I'm young and
people
left-leaning,
assume.
people just assume that I'm like some crazy liberal, but I'm not.
No. Matter of fact, I don't agree with Fox News half the time. I don't agree with CNN half the time. The only one I really agree with, like most of the time, is Reuters, and I'll be shot dead for saying this, but Al Jazeera.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Because they're just straight up across the board. I mean, we're talking about worldwide award winners for journalism, not bullshit. So I'm not a big fan of CNBC and MSN, Fox, CNN, ABC, TCBY. I don't care. It's the country's best yogurt, by the way.
Right, yeah. I'm going to say but you are a fan of that, so.
Well, yeah. But not its politics. I'm going to tell you right now. But I do love their strawberry swirl.
Okay.
Good morning, Sarah Confer. Shouldn't we say that like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Good morning. Good morning, Sarah Confer.
There you go.
Sarah Kana.
Mhm.
Agenda-driven news, Al Jazeera and BBC are the only news I trust. There are a lot of folks that will kind of turn ahead at Al Jazeera because they're a Middle East. What? Go ahead.
Because of the name.
Right.
Because it infers that they're
Terrorists.
Yep.
But they're in Denver. I will be in Denver next week.
Oh, that's right.
We're gonna shift gears here.
Well, visit the Al Jazeera headquarters for me.
No.
Tell them I'm a fan. Tell them Scott Fryer's a fan
I'm gonna
too.
drop off a postcard.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna drop off a postcard.
Yeah, matter of fact, Scott's all excited now. He wants to go. Joanne McCoy says Fox all the way.
Absolutely not.
Joanne, I will respectfully disagree, just because I think any of the big
Every
big
news
conglomerate
source-
news sources are they're playing to a certain audience.
Every news source is biased in some fashion, even if you think it's not.
What do you think, Paul? What's who do you trust? For
I
news?
really don't want to watch the news.
I trust Grizzled now.
No. I even turn off local when they start going to the national news. I can't stand listening to them. It's a bunch of crap. All I know is we're in deep shit, and I'm glad I'm not going to be living for another 40 freaking years.
You don't know that, Paul. Science could change that.
No way.
The problem lies in people with that mindset of, well, I'm not going to be alive, so what do I care? The problem being, I will be alive. My children will also probably be alive. Not yet, but they will be. Like, the planet has to last for future generations, but I feel like a lot of the older generations don't care.
That's not true.
They're voting to their best interest.
That's not
and
true. You're
maybe
wrong.
it's not true for
I
you.
care so much about it. I'm really upset at what's going on in this freaking country, but there's nothing.
Did you hear last thing she said? She goes, maybe not for you.
No, not for me.
Maybe
Go
not
ahead and
for
finish,
you.
though. Finish your
Well,
point.
I mean, that's the problem with this country. Look what's going on, and I'm so upset with what's going on. I grew up in this country being able to do whatever the hell I wanted.
I think part of that plays into the idea of the older generations, Gen X, boomers, etc., have built a society that's not sustainable for youths, in the sense that we have zero public transportation. We have the seat bus, which doesn't go that far. If you want to get anywhere, it's going to take 6 hours out of your day. Similarly, we're very car dependent. Teenagers cannot drive. And then they're like, why don't kids play outside anymore? Probably because all of our green spaces have turned into highways and strip malls. And even so, in these malls, it's like, look at the Crystal Mall. The Crystal Mall is closed. When I was in middle school, Crystal Mall was
still
popping.
open. It's still open.
Yeah, it's still open, but
For
there's
what it's worth.
5 stores in it. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? All the stores are closed. Where are the youth supposed to go? Like, genuinely, I want an answer to that. Where do you expect these children to go? The older generations are not doing anything for these kids, for young people such as myself. I mean, I'm 22 and I still feel like there's not spaces for myself to go, in the sense of, unless I want to go to a bar filled with hicks that I just like, you know what I mean?
So
We have nothing
I
going
don't know
on.
what kind of space she's looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I
I don't know.
think there are plenty of spaces available. And here's what I mean by that. There are lots of activities. Every town has them. Whether it's a community event or I think the wants and needs of
Okay.
hold on, I'll let you finish. I think the wants and the needs of different generations have changed. So, like when I was a kid, right? No different than you. I went outside and rode my bike. I'm part of that
just gonna
generation.
say
I went
that.
outside, rode my bike until the lights came on, and then we came home, right? But I will say, when I became a young adult, what happened? And I'm not going to blame video games, but I'm going to blame video games. But I'm going to blame the people playing the video games, because I don't think I think people get addicted to certain things or whatever. But anyway, when Atari came out, which was before your time, I played all the time. I mean, I'm sure you probably played Atari at some point, but I was older at that point. I was probably 18. I wasn't riding my bike as much, you know. I wasn't playing baseball as much out in the park. But these things are still available today. Baseball in the park. There are parks for young kids. It's the same stuff. I think that the generations have changed, you know, as far as what they are looking for, because you guys are more advanced technologically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like we, you know, as kids, Paul, I mean, tell me if you agree with this. AI?
The hell was that?
All right, see, this generation right now, they're growing into it. You know what I mean? At an age where it's part of their lives. I'm 57. It's like, what? I'm seeing this commercial. We see it all the time where you have, you know, they're talking about AI and things being, you know, and even though the woolly mammoth is extinct,
Yeah.
it could be a real thing. And then you see people with goggles and they're petting a woolly mammoth. You imagine what's going to happen in a theater? You know what I mean? Where you're actually that touch sensation. Forget what it's going to do for the porn industry. I mean,
Don't go there.
Yeah,
I'm
it's like we had to
serious.
bring
No.
that up.
I'm serious about that. Whether we like it or we don't, it's gonna. That's what's gonna happen.
But well, it's already happening. I don't know if you've heard about any of that scandal, but
no. What?
there was a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, don't know his exact title. He was watching deep fake porn of people that he knew. So these people were not making the porn. The AI was using their image to create the porn.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
I can't even wrap my head around
I'm
that.
scared.
That's
scared.
scary.
Read up on deep fakes.
Deep fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I will, but I just want to go back and say that I don't think there are any less spaces available.
Well, okay. So perhaps there's not less spaces available, but in the car dependent industrialized society that we've created, how are children, specifically in this scenario, children under 16 can't work, can't drive, etc., supposed to access these spaces. You know what I mean? Kid wants to go to the park. How are they going to get there?
Their bike.
But,
But
Walk.
the roads aren't adapted for people on bikes very much anymore.
not
See, I'm
around
used to
here.
the small town. I'm used to
Yeah.
little Jewett City, right? So Jewett City's kind of cool, but I can understand like
I
Norwich or
love
Willimantic
Jewett
or
City. Love Jewett City. I'm a Jewett City girl through and through. However, in bigger cities, it's very car dependent.
I was driving through New London actually, and there's bike lanes
Yeah,
all
they-
over New London.
Yeah,
Now.
they put them all over the
Yep.
place now. And 16-year-olds are driving. And you know why 16-year-olds are
not
having
as
fun?
much though. I
Not as
have to
much.
agree with Megan there because the kids are waiting till
They're
they're
older.
older. All right, my Rihanna is 16. She's not even.
Yeah.
I'll get it
No,
when I get it.
I agree.
My
But
kids were 18 and older when they got their
Yeah.
licenses.
That's not true. I was 17.
And
I
they
got
put-
my permit.
You were
I
the
was-
youngest of the bunch.
I got my permit when I was 16, and then I got my license a couple of months before I turned 18.
Yeah.
and-
Cameron
and-
was the oldest. He was over 18 when he finally got his.
And the only
driver's
reason why
license.
they put the rules in place for 16-year-olds driving is because of safety.
Right.
They were misusing the vehicle because some of them were not responsible enough and they were
Mhm.
getting killed. So they put the 18 limit to keep the passengers down.
Yeah.
So here's Joanne says the kids don't want to go anywhere. They're too busy on their phones and playing video games. There is more.
Respectfully,
Hold on,
have to
hold on. Let me
disagree.
finish.
I was gonna say that.
There is more now than when I was a kid. She says, as me, I don't agree with that either.
Yeah.
Even though Paul in the group, not you, agrees with it. Scott agrees with it. And I don't. I think if I was 15 years old in this society or back in, say, 1982, if I had those things, yeah, I'd be on it too. And I think everybody else would be as well. We don't know that
Mhm.
because it didn't happen.
Right.
But if that technology hit back then, you're damn well right we'd be doing the same thing.
And I think we're very quick to blame the kids for being on their damn phones all the time. But
The
who's giving them the
adults-
phones?
The adults are doing
Who's
it just
raising
as
their
much.
children on iPads? Genuinely, answer me that.
Yeah, go through any grocery store and how many little kids do you see sitting in their carts watching
Babysitter.
cartoons on their iPads?
I can't tell you how many 2-year-olds I see sitting there holding an iPad
Yep,
watching a show.
yep,
It's a babysitter.
yep.
Right.
I mean,
But
but
I-
it's convenient. I'll tell you, if I was a parent,
I'm
and
not
at
judging
that point-
anybody's parenting to that extent.
I would love it.
However, I don't think that we can really judge the children when the parents are giving their children iPhones and iPads.
I agree. I actually agree with that, Megan.
I'm just as guilty, and I'm the first to admit it. Everybody knows how much I love my phone,
She's an iPad baby at 50 years old.
but
Parents
Good,
always
Will.
try to give their children more than what they had. And
Yeah,
that's been the
that's
problem
true,
throughout
too.
the years. You know,
yeah,
But I think it comes down to moderation. You know,
Right.
you want your kids to have bigger and better, but you can't let the iPad raise your baby versus you raise your baby.
there's just not going to be.
but not all parents are that way.
I was just going to say they're not the world that we grew up in is no more. It's just not. It's,
Not the same.
I
No.
think I fit into like I have to go in a minute, but I think I fit into like this weird standard of like when I was born in 2000. iPads and iPhones did not exist until I was in middle school. So
no, before
until
that.
well, shortly before that, but until then, you know, I played outside, I did all that, whatever, and then technology kind of started growing when I was in middle school and high school.
Mhm.
So like, I get it, like playing outside, like it sucks that kids don't play outside anymore, but to the same token, like it's kind of hard, you know, with car dependency, but also like the awareness that technology has brought to, you know, kidnappers and rapists and this and that.
And I was just going to bring that point
There's
up, too.
not higher like rates of pedophilia and
No.
whatnot.
Just
You're just
we're-
more aware of it because
Exactly.
you see it like more.
I remember when we were kids and we would get on our bikes and we would ride all over Griswold, and our parents had no idea where we were as long as we were back for dinner. Nobody said anything. These days, my kids were hardly allowed out of the yard. I had to know exactly where they were at all times, and they didn't have phones.
When I was 12 years old, my father told me that if I was caught in Jewett City, he would beat me. Anyway, Goodbye.
She's going to get her beating. Oh, Megan, by the way, Sarah agrees with you about the transportation issue. I was trying to get in, but you don't let me get a word in edgewise.
Thank you so much. I'll be here all week.
She ain't lying. All right. So, I mean, it's a good conversation, and there's a lot of people that have some thoughts. Laura says kids have become, and adults too, having things readily available to them and lack motivation to find things out for themselves. Big thing or big example of that is Grizzled Now. Anybody know what the gas price is? How about oil? Anybody know?
Yeah.
What's the best cable company?
I don't think a lot of them have grown up with hardship. They haven't suffered the impacts of what we
I don't
have.
know.
I'm not talking about the kind of hardship you're thinking. I'm talking about the hardships we're going through now. Do they worry? Young kids worry about inflation?
They do. No, they don't worry. But
I
they
don't
have.
know.
They
They
have
worry
different
about what's
worries.
going on in
Late
the country now?
70s.
Nah.
Oh, come on. Late 70s, early 80s and stuff. There was a lot of it.
Yeah,
Maybe
we
not
grew
you,
up with
Paul.
that.
I mean, you were, in the middle of your career with CLMP, back then, right? So you were, but most of America, I know my family, I mean, my mom had to go to work full
I
time.
worked 2 jobs.
Yeah, my
I'm
mom
not
went to
saying
work.
you didn't, Paul, but I'm just saying there were still a lot of people. I don't think generationally anything's really changed as far as money is concerned. I still think if you want to be successful, you're going to be successful. If you don't want to be successful, you're going to sit on your ass.
Well,
And
That's the problem today.
right.
It's true.
That's the problem today
That's how driven you are.
because it's being handed to you.
All right. Is that because of COVID? Or is that and the policies that COVID brought along? Let's just say it that way, instead because of COVID. Or do you think we would have that problem the way we do now without COVID-related policies?
COVID started it. COVID started the issue of giving everybody everything for free. The people are so used to getting everything for free now that they want to continue to get everything for free.
Mm.
You're not going to get anywhere if you don't work for it. And we're moving towards, we're giving away everything. We give stuff away all the time.
Victoria says, when my kids wanted to go to places, I took them if they weren't within bike riding distance.
Of course.
Yep.
I think every parent does that.
Kathy says, streets weren't bike friendly when I was a kid either. Didn't stop us. We wanted to go somewhere. We found a way. I used to walk from Norwich to Montville.
There you go.
And I agree with that too. Come on, Melissa.
Back in those,
When we were
I never
kids,
did
if we
that,
wanted to
but
go somewhere, did it pretty much stop you? If you wanted to get somewhere,
You went. Or you found a ride with
I
somebody.
don't know. I was a different breed.
I was kind of a wuss kid. I didn't want to get into trouble. I mean, but still, if I wanted to go somewhere, and I had permission from my mother, but she wasn't going to drive me because we only had one car.
No, I mean, yeah, if we
that
wanted to
time.
get somewhere, we'd figure out a way. Yeah. I mean,
You have families now that have 3, 4, 5 cars.
yeah,
Yeah.
We have 4 cars.
at our house. Yeah.
5 technically.
Yeah, each one of us has a vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus the spare.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you see what I mean? So back in the day, it was one car.
Yep.
My dad took it to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
We only got a second car when my mother got a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In like 1980.
Who?
No, she worked.
Don't disagree. Yeah. It was, and generally only one person in the family worked.
Scott said, my parents made us go outside, made me go outside too.
Yeah.
There were some days I didn't want to. I'm not kidding you. My mother would be, Michael, get your ass outside and play. Look at all those kids out there.
Yep.
Get out there.
Yeah.
And guess what? I did. I went out there and I made friends. I mean, they were my friends anyway, but
I'm very lucky to have grown up where I did and had all the kids in the neighborhood because we were out in the boonies. I grew up out on Bethel Road. I grew up on Janice Lane. I was very lucky to grow up out there. All the kids that were in that little neighborhood, even though we were all out in the boonies, we couldn't get to Jewett City because it was too far.
yeah, I mean, I grew up on Wilson Street,
Yeah.
right down by the Little League field. We're talking hundreds of kids.
But I mean,
All the
we
time.
would have kickball games in the street. You know, in the winter, the neighbor had a nice hill in their yard. We'd go sledding down their hill.
The games are the same. They're just done. Kids are just doing different games and doing them differently.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. If video games didn't exist, I think we would, of course, try to find something else to blame it on than video games.
Yeah.
Because when we were kids and didn't go outside, guess what? We were just lazy slugs, right? And everybody they blamed it on that or
TV.
or TV. Exactly.
There
was always something.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it really any different? We're just older. We have forgot.
Yeah. Going back to what you said about parents giving their kids iPads and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind that generation now that's giving kids iPads, they grew up with phones in their hands.
Mhm.
This is they're at a different technology level.
Yeah.
So they use that as a tool to keep their kids busy.
Yeah.
I mean, you or I wouldn't think about doing that. Maybe as a grandparent.
No, but my mother would give me a puzzle book.
Yeah, well, that's what was there.
Here,
at
do
the
this,
time,
Michael.
But
Yeah.
I believe
It
that
just wasn't electronic.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. I think that's the reason why you've got that generation now giving their kids iPads and little something electronically to play
Yeah.
with because they grew up with that in their hand and they use that as a tool. So, but
I think we've forgotten. We've forgotten a lot of things that when we were kids, we had the same type of things. It's just that technology is different.
Yeah.
And you know what? Our parents, the technology was different for us than it was for them.
Mhm.
yeah.
What the hell? We're
Sure.
going to get a cordless phone?
Where's the cord?
Are you kidding me?
The answering machine. Oh my God. When we got the first answering machine, that was so cool.
Dad didn't even know we got the cordless phone. I'm on the back deck. What are you doing? Is that a walkie-talkie? No, it's a phone, Dad. Mom just bought it. You're on the phone? Yeah. And then you have to buy spare antennas because you always take the phone and try to crunch the antenna on your side, right? To retract it. And what happened? It would snap. So then a lot of people just buy different cordless phones because I don't know, I can't get an antenna. There was, I didn't know Radio Shack actually carried them. So, but seriously though, it's the same thing.
I just wonder. Now she complains.
What about our kids? What's going to be?
Well, that's what I'm saying. She complains about the older people. She's eventually going to be old. And what is she going to do that screw up the environment that's going to make their kids start saying, well, you guys screwed it up. So it's a continual.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Probably the same thing. We're
If-
probably
if-
saying the
if-
same thing to our parents.
If we didn't change stuff, we'd still be going across the country in a wagon train. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to get different. We're talking about flying cars. We're talking about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which exist.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
any worse or any better.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah.
It's true.
Like I said, there was every generation, was a little bit different. The Pony Express, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, look at this. Look at that over there. Hey, they're the rich people. They got themselves. I think they call that a Model T.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It just changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, are you scared of what's going to be for our children's children? What's going to happen, or do you say
What I'm afraid of is they're going to lose a lot of the freedoms that we had growing up in life. I don't know if they're going to have the same freedoms that we had. They're going to be more controlled. I mean, that's the way we're going. I mean, look what's happening. More and more government's trying to take more of your stuff away from you. So what does that mean? Are you going to live them? You're not going to be able to free like you were?
well, so what if we lost?
Not yet. I'm not saying
No,
it
no,
right
no,
now.
no, no. I know, but I've heard it. I'm not talking about now.
Yeah.
No, but I've heard it for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
That, we're not going to have this, we're not going to have that, right? So in the last 5 years, Melissa, what have we lost?
I don't know.
Living in the same house.
Yeah.
What have we lost?
I can't think of anything.
I think we actually gained stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you gain stuff, yeah, because you're
Well,
older. Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
think so.
I'm just. I don't think we're there at the point yet where all the freedoms are gone. But look what's going to happen now when everything goes green. What's that going to limit to? They're talking about taking away your freaking air conditioning.
Huh?
That's the next thing the guy's going after.
But they will
What do you-
be.
how you
That's
gonna
not
run
going to
your
happen.
air
That can't happen.
What do you mean it can't happen?
I don't
going
know.
to take that any more than they're going to take TikTok away. So
I was going to
But
say,
that's
like,
the
because
kind
a
of
lot
stuff
of
that's-
people rely on their air conditioners.
I know, but you heard him. He wants to take. That's the kind of crap that's being said.
That's so ridiculous.
And people are taking it
Just
serious.
some of the stuff they come up with. I just,
How- you
have to
gonna-
shake
you gonna
my
run
head.
your air conditioning on batteries?
and then what do you do with the batteries?
solar
Throw them away. And guess what? Not good for the environment.
Exactly.
Paul Fair says, "Have a good day. I'm going to play outside. Bye bye." Good for you, man. Hey, Kurt. Kurt out in Oklahoma.
hmm
I'd like in on this edgewise because man, I can. Okay, I don't. Maybe I think I missed something here. Kurt. He likes the '80s fantastic chat.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's what we're talking about. I mean the '80s were this just Scott Fryer impromptu baseball games were breaking out almost every day. True.
Yeah. My dad was a baseball coach for a long
Yeah.
time. And I grew up going to Quebec Square because that's where my family lived. There was a huge field out there, and we would gather every time we would go to visit, we'd gather up all the kids. And every weekend we would have baseball games.
We would play. We kept stats. We kept everything. We would play down the Little League field because Little League was over for the year, right? When summer was out, we didn't have fall ball.
Right.
So when all was said and
When the
done,
baseball season was over, that was it.
right.
Yeah.
So that's a good question. Do they allow kids to play on the Little League field, even though there's no?
No, they can.
They can.
Yeah. It's open.
It's
Yeah.
open.
They're
It's
allowed-
community.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
We did that. We would get there. We would plan on being there at 8:00 in the morning.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you, we wouldn't leave till it's dark. We went home for lunch.
Yeah.
And then we would go home, we'd go back,
Yeah.
and then we would miraculously, we all had to go to dinner at the same time around 5:30.
Right.
And then we'd all say, "Who's coming back?"
Yeah.
And you wouldn't get everybody back, but
Right.
you'd still get enough to play a 4-on-4 game.
Yeah.
Can't hit it the right field or you're out.
Yeah.
You'd make up stuff to make it work.
Is that
Mhm.
still going on?
Huh?
Is that still going on?
I mean, I know
Not
kids
as
use the
much,
field, but
yeah,
not.
see?
No, I'm not saying
I
that.
know,
It's
but-
it's just
Yeah.
it's generational.
Yeah, because kids rather be home doing something else.
Oh, and then when Cameron was getting ready to join the football team, he finally decided to join the football team his senior year in high school. But for literally for a year, every day after school, he would meet up with all his buddies and they would play football for
Oh.
2-3 hours,
There you go.
trying to teach him how to play the game. And they did that for a good 6-7 months, right through the snow. He came home one day and it had been snowing for a couple hours, and he came home and he was like, "That was so fun. That was so fun playing football in the snow."
Yeah.
I was I'm like,
When he actually went outside, he's an outdoors kid. He's an
he is.
outdoorsy
Yeah,
kid,
yeah,
so
yeah, he enjoys it.
good morning, Court. Sorry to sound cliche, but when I was a kid, our family had one car.
Mhm,
What did I say? We had one car, one TV,
mhm,
one phone,
mhm.
and that was a party line with neighbors.
We never had
Yeah. You pick it up as soon as he's talking.
that. Happened to me one time, and I had no idea what was going on. I was trying to make a phone call, and I picked up the phone, and there was a couple of girls already talking, and
Yeah.
I was like, "What the? How does this happen?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Can you guys get off the phone? I don't know who you are, but I need to make a phone call." And they
Yeah.
were like,
All right.
okay." I was like,
What about emergency break-ins? Did you remember?
No.
You remember that?
no,
All right,
I never
so-
had to do that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I would do it just to piss my mother off. She'd be on the phone with somebody, and it's like, I gotta talk to my mother. And it's like, you call the operator. Hi, can I get an emergency break-in? Is this an emergency? Yes. What's the number? 860-376-5705. That was my number.
Yep.
Okay, please hold. They would put you on hold, right? And kind of like you'd come back and go, okay, your call is connected. Michael, what's going on? Nothing. I had to ask you a question. You son of a... I was just talking to you.
Yeah, that was the old keyboard where you plug the plugs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One ringy dingy.
Yeah.
Lily Tomlin.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh yes.
Court, question for you. Are you going to be the who's the planning and zoning chair now? Is it you? P&Z, there's going to be a new chairman since the chairman has resigned.
Oh really? I did not know that. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Tim says you don't miss what you don't have. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But you get ticked off if your neighbors have it. And it's like, Mom, what do we have?
Yeah.
Then you got to keep
You know
up
what
with
they
the
have
Joneses.
next door?
Yes. Come on, how many times did you hear that growing up? Or even said it yourself? They've got this thing that makes soup. We're losing traditional cars, Kathy says.
Yes, we are. By 40, I think. They want all gas operated cars up the road. 40. I think it's 40.
I thought it was 34.
No, it's either 35 or 40. But I thought
Or is it 34? You can't buy a gas powered car anymore. Victoria says government regulations are increasing. There's no denying it.
That's where I say that a lot of the freedoms will be taken away as a result of the new regulations. They keep taking away stuff that you're not going to be able to do.
Such as?
Well,
You mean, no, really, give me an idea.
Well, they want to take away, they're trying to ban gas stoves.
Yeah.
Right now.
I think Scott just said that too. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I mean, they keep taking away these little things, but they have nothing to replace it yet.
Yeah. Right. That's not helpful.
No, if you had something to replace a gas stove, other than you don't want an electric stove because now you sure as hell this side of the country we're not going to be able to do much with sun.
Get a fire pit.
I was going to say, going to go back to the old stoves with the wood fire.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it can't
They
burn
had
wood.
in the
No,
olden
no,
days.
no. Can't burn wood.
Why?
They're trying to ban the burning wood because of the smoke coming off the wood.
Hey, Barbara, how are you? Come on, you're like, where you going? You're like Mr. McFeely for Mr. Rogers. This is Barbara. Come over here. There you go. That's Barbara. What'd you bring us today, Barbara?
I don't know, something.
Oh, we got a package. Bye, Barbara.
Yeah.
I know what that is, actually. Can you hand it to me?
Yeah.
Watch, because it's going to actually work with this table right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are trying to ban wood stoves because of the smoke going into
That's
the air.
crazy.
It's against the environment. So
I won't be able to walk down the street and smell campfires.
no, everything they want to do, they want to ban everything. I mean, I realize we have to do something with the environment, but you can't do it all at once.
Jeez.
These things are hermetically sealed.
It doesn't take much to change, to get them off of concentration.
No, it said terra perforation, and they did, and it didn't do anything. This is not going to be anything that you guys are going to like. They're just grommets.
Okay. You had to have it right now, so.
I did, because you know why?
Okay.
Oh, gee, burst creep. It's a little rubber thing. It won't fit.
Well, it will.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
It will. I just got to. Oh.
Okay.
Now we just lost him.
No, that's right there.
All right.
Hold on, I'll watch. Watch. It's gonna make it look better.
Sure.
Yeah, because
Because
they all care about that right now.
see,
That's
now he's
important
got-
stuff.
Now he's got this
Yeah.
table.
There we go. You can't hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much, I'll tell you. Like a little kid,
I am, but I can't because this won't fit.
Oh my God.
What? What are you complaining about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Come on, get up there. There we go.
Yeah. So now put the little plastic thing back on again. That'll fit.
No, it won't.
Why won't it?
Because I have to cut this out. Because it won't. Well, maybe, yeah, well, okay. Oh, Paul, you're amazing. Here, this is yours.
Oh boy. You know what?
It's project day.
I can do it after.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It looks wonderful.
Stuff.
Oh,
Huh?
beautiful. Yeah, gorgeous.
Come on. I
It's
mean,
gorgeous.
It just makes it look better.
Would have been nice if you got brown ones.
No, I think it looks good.
Yeah, okay.
I think brown would have been just kind of like on the table. Brown on brown.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, let's see. Laura says the movie Demolition Man happened in 2032. Can you imagine if our world was like that? Did you see the movie Demolition Man?
I don't know. I might have. I don't remember.
Okay. I remember seeing the cover for the box at
I don't watch movies. I don't have any clue. I don't remember.
VHS store.
Oh, VHS.
Hey, there's a trivia question for you. Yeah. What does VHS stand for?
Video.
Oh, duh.
Something system.
I have no idea. I can't think of it.
The S got stand for system.
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
Could be not.
I'll stand corrected.
So what does VHS stand for? Anybody know? And I'm going to tell you before anybody can Google it. Video home system.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I never called it my home system. I always used to call it VHS.
Or, honey, did you get a movie for the VCR?
I want a beta.
Actually, the quality was better on beta, but it was more of a West Coast thing and never took off nationally.
Never took off here.
It was more, the players were much more expensive.
Oh.
But it was better quality.
Oh.
You know?
Now it's like unbelievable. Now they're up to 8K.
Yeah, I got 4K cameras for when we play out, but
yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen 8K, but it's got to be.
You could buy a brand new electric car, and as soon as you drive it off the lot, the next day it's outdated, and there's something else that came out.
Yeah, yeah.
You're always going to be behind the 8-ball.
Oh yeah.
You know, unless you're traveling in time.
Yeah.
So let me read this to you. Tell me what you think. Victoria states, in the state capital, they are now discussing housing. So now they want to implement live walk ride. It's building housing near transit, like little colonies. The group is called Desegregate Connecticut. They're talking mandates for towns and loss of funds if towns don't comply. This is an example of a loss of freedom.
Yeah, there you go. Those are the little things that our legislatures are doing, not even telling us.
Here's a good point, and this hasn't been brought up. I know we've talked about this. I have, at least with Jim Barney at one point. How are we going to charge these cars when the grid goes down?
True. Well, that was evident when they had that big ice storm, and people where was it?
Texas?
When they had the cars, had electric cars, and people were freezing in the cars because the batteries were running out.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, the batteries died. They were sitting in their cars, and it was so cold. Electric cars, they wouldn't run. You know, there's nothing you can come and put gas in them.
Right.
You got to bring a charger to them. It's a long cord. Yeah.
It's funny when a car runs out of their charge, and then somebody brings out a generator that's run on gas to charge your electric car.
Yeah. We're just not quite there yet. It took all these years to get us to where we are now. It ain't going to happen overnight.
No.
But everybody, all our legislatures, because of, everybody wants to have green, they want it done immediately. Well, it doesn't happen immediately. It takes time. I mean, I can understand.
That's why they put the things in place for the cars.
I have a battery operated leaf blower. I have a battery operated trimmer. I have a battery operated chainsaw. So am I moving towards the battery stuff? Yeah, because the technology is there. But, I'm not going to run my house on a freaking battery. I can't use solar because of trees. What am I going to do? Cut all the trees down in my house? But I'll have to take my battery operated chainsaw so I could cut down the trees in my yard and I have to make sure I have enough charge in them so I can cut them down.
Yeah, but the more trees you cut down, that's more detrimental, I would think.
If you take away the trees do a lot.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
They filter the air.
Yeah.
Provide oxygen.
I don't think the East Coast here in northern New England solar is our favor. We're too woodsy.
And it's dark for 6 months in a year.
Yeah, we're too woodsy. What are you going to do? Freeze during the winter?
Yeah.
No, I remember. I've told you this story before, where when I had the house on Top of Hill Street, we had a solar rep that came in and told me how much the system is going to be, and but look at all these rebates.
Yeah.
And then this is what it's going to estimate with the amount of
power
you use. This is what it's going to cost you per month. And they drive that home. Yeah. This is the thing that I don't agree with. And I don't know. You got to show me better numbers, because they drive the fact that your electric bill goes down from like 150 to like $18. Okay, that's all well and good.
Yeah,
but you're still paying $18, right?
Yeah.
If I have solar, I don't want to pay anybody.
Yeah,
maybe for a backup. Okay, fine.
But you got to pay for the panels.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. So after rebates, the panels are at that point, we're still around 20. I haven't even looked at it, so I don't even know what they are now. But even then, after rebates, it was still like $25,000. So it was a 10-year agreement. Mm-hmm. And the payments were like $180 a month. So I said, where's my savings? Well, you're upgrading your house. No, because even you said after 20 years, the panels are crap and you got to replace them anyway.
And then the other thing is too, that if you know anybody who's a real estate agent, and they will knock you over the head with it. Do not get solar panels if you are planning on selling your house anytime in the future. So, because it doesn't increase the value of your house. It doesn't help your house. And the people that are coming to buy your house, they don't want to take over your payment of the panels. It just makes it very difficult to sell a house that has the solar panels on it.
The houses we have today are so old that the solar panels is just not going to do them justice.
Right.
Now, if you build them from the ground up, where you can build a house to be very efficient, then it may make sense. But right now, putting it on some 100-year-old house to put solar panels on it, I mean.
Well, maybe if you're building a house because you're going to stay there for the rest of your life, maybe.
Well, they have these houses
but then
now.
Again, how much time is left on your life
now that they build that
building a house like that?
Very, very efficient.
Huh?
Yeah, there's more than solar that you can use. The heating, put it in the ground.
So what's the answer? Nobody knows, and that's why they keep switching things up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to have a Tesla,
mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to spend $80,000 to buy a freaking Tesla.
I don't know. The Teslas, supposedly the Teslas are affordable. They've made them where they cost the same as a Ford.
Yeah, but the problem is that a lot of them they're not 4-wheel drive. They're not, a lot of them don't have a lot of the features in them that you would get in a normal SUV. I mean, if you're going to drive, you want to have around here, you got to have all-wheel drive, or 4-wheel drive because of what we have here. If you live in California, who cares? But, so one in the drivable one, if you want the drivable one, that's up in the $80,000 area.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I don't know. My friend got one.
Yeah, but they bought a used one, right?
Yeah, but even new it was 60. Yeah. But that was at that point. It was one of the better models.
First, that was done a while ago.
Yeah.
Now they're much more expensive.
But the amount of miles he gets on that thing is unreal.
Oh yeah.
He says he'll get 1.5 million miles on that car.
Yeah. And the other thing too is
not on those batteries, but on that car.
The more you spend on the batteries, you can get more hours out of them too, more miles. If you buy a cheap one, you're going to get 300 miles. But if you buy a more expensive one, you'll get 500 miles. So,
He actually got one of the cars too that was the last generation where he'll get free charges for life.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for.
Yeah.
Just stops, plugs in, and leaves.
But again, you pay $70,000 for a Tesla. Come July, guess what you're paying your taxes on? A $70,000 car. So they got you. Yeah, the government's going to give you a tax break, but that tax break, it's not cash in your hand. It's just cash coming off your income tax that you had to pay them in the beginning. You know, so
Hasn't it always been like that?
yeah.
So what's changed?
Well,
I think we were talking about change.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Price of
And
cars has gone up. Can you imagine? I can imagine what a car will cost 5 years from now.
I remember the first car on the Price is Right
Probably
I ever saw. It was
$100,000 for a cheap car.
$24.95. It was $24.95. You remember when Yugos first came out? What their retail price was?
Go.
$39.95. Hyundai's were $49.
My first new car was $3,000.
See?
Yeah. And even then it was $3,000. I said, holy Christ, how am I going to pay $3,000 for this?
I mean, Rolls Royce was at that time was about 28,000.
Yeah.
Now what are they?
Yeah.
$250,000?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Just give you an idea how much things have gone up.
yeah, now people's salaries have gone up too, but you're not getting as much money. You're not getting as much for your buck as you did back then either.
True.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how things go on. Every day, people have a concern. What's going to change now? What's happening?
I do want to say something real quick though. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I did want to apologize to Griswold Public Schools. I decided not to go to the mock interviews today because I did this cough. You've heard this cough that I've had lately. I just didn't think it was a good idea to go in there and just start.
I was going to tell you to go get that cough checked out.
Yeah. So
Actually.
like, here we go. That was just a pathetic cough. But I mean, so so I had to cancel out of that and I feel bad about it, but I didn't want to put anybody at risk. So you never know. I mean, it wasn't just a regular cough. I mean, it's not just something that's
you've
bronchial
been
or something.
hacking for a couple of days now.
Yeah.
It's productive. I can hear it being productive, but
Yeah. I'm gurgling.
Mhm.
It's like the death rattle, Paul, Did you see Ned's proposal now? Get rid of income tax for those making less than 50K.
Yep. Yeah, that's his latest thing. How many
Really?
people here is that going to help?
well, help me.
Me too, really.
I mean, come on.
I certainly don't make anywhere near 50K.
See, they don't cater to the ones that are supporting economy. They only cater to the ones that don't pay any income tax to begin with. So what is he? It's a name game with him. He's a politician. He's playing the rule.
Yeah.
How many people actually make less than 50K are probably paying taxes anyway? Think about it. So what's he gained by doing that? What's he lost? Nothing.
Cindy says he's missed the entire middle class.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody, they want to wipe out the middle class. There's not going to be a middle class anymore. Either you're going to be super rich
Or
or
you're
you're going
poor.
to be down in the poor section.
Yep.
That's the way
Poverty
it's going to
level.
be. That's a change that's probably going to hit in the future.
I think that's what the draw of, and nobody wants to hear this, but I think that was the draw of Donald Trump getting elected into office, because you had Obama, who kind of started that divide right there.
He started it.
Yeah, literally. And then the middle class, they were like, well, what about us? And then Donald Trump came along and said, I'm going to take care of you. And everybody was all, okay, great.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's what helped get him elected.
Yeah. I mean, the rich are always going to find a loophole.
Mm-hmm.
They could try to come up with all these different tax things and everything else, but they will find a loophole. I'll bet Musk is probably not paying he's paying taxes, but not to the level of some of the people who, not super rich, but are rich. He's probably paying a lot less than them. And look at the money
Right.
he has. A lot of these rich people pay less than what we pay because we're stupid. Because what we're so honest about, well, we have to pay our taxes that we're so afraid we're going to get caught because they come after us.
Yeah.
They don't go after the rich guy. They come after the low guy. Yeah.
All right. For those of you who are wondering, I was looking at my picture that I posted this morning on my Facebook, and people are saying, all right, so where is it? I got some really crazy answers. So I said, where am I? Posted a picture, and one said lost. Lauren LaBelle says, hope it's the new field. Scott Fire says, is it Tatooine?
Tatooine.
Tatooine? Is that a
Star Wars.
Star Wars thing? Okay. Scott Groskowski says Mars.
It does look like a hole in the moon.
Kathy Waslick just posted a picture. Ryan Hargraves, the set of the lunar landing. Elizabeth Perkins, the site of the new Lisbon Fire Department. Leona Sharkey on a dirt patch with a stake in the ground. Yep. Stan says new field.
Hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah, but you know who really hit the nail on the head was Ken Willie. And he said it, the 50-yard line.
Yep.
Oh.
So that is the 50-yard line of the new. So everybody that said the field, yes, you are correct. However, Ken Willie was exact with the 50-yard line. So there we go. There was something else I wanted to. Saturday, there's an event that's coming up, which you and I have tickets to. By the way.
We do?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have to work this weekend. Yeah.
Huh?
I don't have to work this weekend.
Yep.
So
We have tickets to a comedy show.
comedy show.
Mm-hmm. Do we have something else going on?
No.
I didn't think so. You gave me this look like.
I'm like, what comedy show? I'm like, do tell.
It's
I
Frank,
love going to comedy shows.
Franco's Comedy for a Cause.
Ooh.
It's April 8th, 8 p.m.
Okay.
It's at the Polish American Club in Uncasville. So I would fit right in. You too?
Well, I'm only Polish by marriage.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Well,
I'm a French girl through and through.
it's for the Jacob, is it Baligo?
Lego, yeah.
Memorial Scholarship Fund.
Okay.
It's put on by
It's a
Ted
GYF,
Koziel's
yeah.
doing it. Yeah. GYF, right?
Well,
Or
he was very active in Griswold youth football for many years, and he unfortunately passed away. I think of cystic fibrosis.
I'm not sure.
I think that's, or it was. I'm not positive. I think that's what he might have had, and that was 2009, 2010, around there somewhere.
Yeah. So anyway, there's going to be 3 comics.
Okay.
It's April 8th. The show starts 8:00. You can bring your own food.
That's next weekend. That's not this coming weekend.
No, it's next
Oh.
weekend.
Well, I have to work that weekend, but still.
It's at 8:00. So we could.
That's
We
Easter
went.
weekend.
Remember, we went. Your parents went.
Yeah,
and-
that was when they did it for Project Safegrad.
Yes.
Who are
Which
the-
I don't know why they don't do it anymore.
I don't know.
because that was a hell of a night.
I've been wanting to actually do that for like a fundraiser for cheerleading. I think it would be a good fundraiser. Plus, I love those comedy events because they're so fun.
Cindy says we were supposed to work on cruise planning that night.
Oh, we were?
Per Melissa's message.
No. I said no. That's
No.
this weekend. That
Oh, all
That's
right.
this
That's
coming weekend.
It's
I
next
said.
weekend.
That's
Next weekend is the comedy show.
Cindy, you should come with us.
That's Easter weekend.
That's correct, and I am working that weekend. But so, who are the comics that are appearing? By the way,
Nasty.
Maya Mannion. She was
okay.
the runner-up in Mohegan Sun's funniest comic in New England.
Okay.
Jeff Wade, and the headliner is Darren Rivera.
I haven't heard of any of them. Okay.
But every time we've gone to a Franco show, they've
He
been,
gets good comics.
Yeah.
He's good. I don't know the connections he has, but boy, he brings in some funny guys. That one guy that they had at the last Project Safegrad comedy show, I couldn't breathe. That guy was the funniest person I've ever seen ever.
Oh, you mean at the French Club?
Yeah.
No, not the French Club.
That
That
was at the French Club.
Oh, the one we saw before that was up at the VFW.
The VFW.
That guy was crazy.
I don't remember which
Kept making
guy.
fun of Al Gear.
Yes, I remember that.
They have to be careful today, comics.
No, they don't. They're comics.
No,
They're comics.
no,
No,
no.
you no. It's kind of a disclosure.
We gotta stop. We gotta stop being uptight.
I was gonna say,
you.
stop being so sensitive. It's just jokes.
Then other people don't look at it that
Paul,
way.
you know what? After today, I am going to get you a massage at the new Jewett City Massage Parlor with the most beautiful Asian women known to man. That's exactly what the website says. Damn it, you're in. Congratulations, Paul.
Oh boy.
That's what the website says. You know, I mean,
Because when you're face down at that table, you really care that the Asian woman is beautiful.
I told her
Is it a he or a she?
Asian is the most beautiful Asian woman.
So I told Melissa, I said, honestly, I don't care if the massage person's name is Chuck. I said, I'm looking face down on the floor. I don't care what your name is, you know? If you can get that knot out underneath my shoulder blade, God bless you, Larry. You know?
That's what he was saying. And they're beautiful Asian women. I'm like, what about the homely white women? What the heck?
They gotta eat. They gotta get a job.
If they were good at their job, let them in.
boy.
Oh my God. All right, let's get the heck out of here. Paul's like, what? This soon? I was having such a good time. Paul actually had a good time for once.
No.
All right.
Can't be.
All right, tomorrow, Kathy Waslick will be back with us tomorrow morning. Melissa, thank you, my darling,
Mm-hmm.
for being here once again. Paul, hey, G, thanks. You got to admit, you came in here bitchy.
I wasn't bitchy. I just complained about the door.
Yeah, and then you complained about
Well, if
something.
I don't speak up, what I'm going to do? Let the door just sit there and don't tell anybody?
Did it stop you from getting in this morning?
No, because you had to open it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it says to put in a number, but when it comes up, one number's missing.
Uh-oh.
And of course, it's the number you need.
It's not missing. There's a little bleed in the thing, and it's covering up a number. Probably the number he's missing, I'm thinking.
Those bastards.
All right. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for coming on by, and we'll see you tomorrow with Kathy right here on SNSN. Have a good day.
You buy better. Better it burns. Much better. So much better it burns. The right insurance.